Hey guys, it's Ashley here, and I just wanted to do a very quick video about our initial plans for this pregnancy with the doctoring and who's going to do it and laboring and birth and all of that. So, with our daughter Sophia, our first child and our only child at this point, we had a natural birth, and by natural I mean no medication, epidural, anything like that. So completely natural birth with a midwife in a hospital. So the state that we were living in, the midwives worked in the hospital alongside of a doctor, but they could do all of the prenatal and all of the birth, labor and birth and everything for you. In the state that we are in now, the midwife could do your prenatal stuff, but they can't be the one to actually deliver the baby if you are having the baby in the hospital. Yep, you can have a cracker. Go ahead. So we looked into some other options just because I wasn't comfortable. Well, one, we had Sophia in the hospital, and then all I wanted to do was go home. All I wanted to do was be out of that place, and we were there for like 48 hours, and by like the next morning, because we had her at 4 in the afternoon, by the time we got into our room, it was like 7 at night, so we kind of just went to bed, and I woke up the next morning and really just wanted to go home. Like, I hated not being in my own space, in my own area and whatnot. And so this time around, our plans are, there's a midwife in a city that's about 2 hours away from here, and she comes down to where we live often for births. And home births are allowed in the state that we live in. They weren't in our previous state, and I don't think I would have done a home birth for our first birth anyway. But we are planning on going through with a home birth this time. And that's because my pregnancy is considered low risk just because of how my previous pregnancy went. There were no complications because of me and my health and all of that stuff. It's considered very low risk. And so because of that, it's actually, the statistics, it's actually safer for moms who are low risk in their pregnancy to have a home birth than a hospital birth. There's less chances of intervention or things like that happening. So we feel completely confident in it. We're so excited to be able to be in our own space, to have our baby here where we live, and then to just be able to stay here and not have to think about going anywhere or anything like that. Sophia will probably be here for the majority of the laboring part, and then as we get closer to the birth, we have a couple friends that, depending on who's available that day, we'll go ahead and call just to take her for the end, because we don't really want her to see, because she's so young, we don't want her to see me, her mom, in that state of, because it is like painful and it can be kind of confusing to a child if they don't understand what's going on. And then too, during the cleanup and stuff like that, we don't want her around because she'll only be 2 years old. And then that way Stefan can be totally helping with me and with the birth and not distracted by our daughter. Unless it's in the middle of the night, in which case she would probably just stay here with us. Mama. You kicking? Good job. So those are our plans, and as things, go ahead, kick it to mom. And as things continue to unfold, I will make sure to keep you all updated, and as we decide about a water birth or not, or as we get our materials gathered and supplies for the birth gathered, and as we get things organized, I'll just continue to keep you updated. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them, because I've had a few and I was able to talk to the midwife about them, but I'm sure there's other things that I'm not thinking about. So I wouldn't mind asking her your questions also, because I'm sure they would be things that would come up for me at some point in time. So that is our plan, a home birth for our second child. And again, you want some water? Okay, I'll get you some. We are so excited, and just really praying through this, and obviously praying that it's the right decision. And again, if something comes up along the pregnancy, we're not going to put this baby at risk just to have a home birth. So if something comes up that's causing alarm or uncertainty, then we'll definitely make changes in our care and transfer to a doctor for care, or even if it's last minute, we told the midwife, like, we totally trust you and your judgment. She's been doing home births since like 1998 or 92. one of those, sometime in the 90s, and so we fully feel confident in her ability to do this. And we also would trust her if she said, you know, even if it's in the middle of the birth and she was like, hey, we need to get to a hospital, well, then I'm going to trust her and not, as much as I would want a home birth, not argue with her on that, because she is the one who has seen hundreds of births in the last 20-some years. So, yeah, that is our plan. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will continue to keep you updated about how it's going and how our appointments are going, and just all things related to midwifery and a home birth, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are curious about it, because I wouldn't have known about it until like maybe in the last 2 years, and that's only because I've had a couple friends who have had home births, or just acquaintances who have home births. But prior to that, I wouldn't have even thought that people actually gave birth at home. So I'm glad that I've been exposed to it, and now that we get to make this decision for our family. So I will talk to you all later, and hope you have a great day. Bye!